quick, easy, smoky and beefy dish for your weeknight supper. Here is my version of beef Kway Teow. Hi folks, welcome back to another episode of What Wednesdays at Share here at School of What, and today we are going to be making beef Kway Teow. Okay, so aromatics, super easy, little prep done for this dish. All you need, some cloves of garlic, let's go. Finally chop this down, so just give it a quick bash with your cleaver. That should just loosen the skin, and we're just gonna peel off the skin and then just finally chop it down. I mean, that literally just took a minute, so really quick, easy work here. And after the garlic, just got some Chinese chives here. Yeah, sometimes called garlic chives. We are just gonna cut them into probably kind of really chunky bits, maybe into thirds. So that's kind of what you want. And they literally wilt down so very quickly in a stir fry anyway. So that can just go away. And then next I'm just gonna prep up my beef. So here I have got some sirloin. So you can use literally any kind of cut you want. Preferably something with a bit of fat if you can, or if you prefer lean, that's absolutely fine. But I find that sometimes with a bit of fat, it does work quite well in terms of flavor. Just gonna slice the beef down rather thinly, okay, as thin as you can get it, because it is quite a quick stir fry. So this is kind of roughly kind of how I want it. They're about ½ centimeter in thickness, but if you'll notice, I'm actually sort of doing the slicing in a kind of a, with my cleaver kind of at a angle, so it's just a little bit easier to get thinner slices. You could obviously also just pop your beef into a freezer, and I'm sure you know, freeze it for about sort of 30 minutes or so, and that will just partially freeze the meat, and it'll just make it a little bit easier for you to then slice. But I find that sometimes, you know, if you've got to wait 30 minutes and then you're hungry and it's, you know, everyone's waiting for you to cook, it's just a little bit easier just to get it over and done with, you know. If you have a sharp knife, it usually just makes it a little bit easier to get thin slices like that, okay? Very easy, quick job done. So all my sliced beef can go into the bowl, and we're just gonna do a really quick marinade, okay? I've got some light soy, obviously, for salt and umami. So a couple of teaspoons of light soy, because don't really have a lot of beef in here. And I'm just gonna go in with maybe a couple of teaspoons of my lovely oyster sauce. So again, more umami, we're just trying to bolster up the umami here. And also a tiny little bit of sesame oil if you want, okay? Some people don't like putting sesame oils into marinade because they feel like, you know, it's just gonna go into a very hot wok and then it just kind of wastes the sesame oil. But you know what, I'm just gonna put it in for a bit of flavor. Some black pepper corns as well, or some crushed black pepper rather. And then I'm just gonna go in there with my hands, give it a really good massage, get all of those flavors kind of mixed through. It really doesn't need a long time to marinate. I mean, it's great if you can do it for like 20 minutes or 30 minutes. I'm just gonna do it for a couple of minutes because what's more important actually is for you to really kind of massage the ingredients together so that all of the sauces, the oyster sauce, the light soy, all those things actually start to get worked into the meat and the protein structure, or rather the structure of the meat itself. And as you keep on doing that, you'll notice one very interesting, strange thing happening is that your meat, or the beef rather, gets a little bit more dry, and everything starts to actually look a little bit more glossy and shiny as well. And that's how you actually get a lot of that flavor of the marinade into the protein. And that's also a really good way of telling that you have done and accomplished that whole process of marinating. No need to keep working the meat anymore. For at this point, you can actually pop this into the fridge, or since I'm going to just continue on with the process, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of that corn flour that I've got in here. This is when you then want to get in there with your hands again and really give it a good mix. And you'll start to notice that the mixture, the meat starts to go kind of to a sort of a more lighter shade of brown. It's almost like you've got some latte-like kind of color running through it, and that is your velveting. Okay, that's your whole velveting process done and completed, and that is kind of literally how it will look. So nice and glossy, and it's got a bit of that milky sort of color running through it. And then just to finish off the velveting process, I'm going to get some oil in there as well. The oil really is something that we learned from, you know, kitchen chefs in restaurants, and that process really just kind of helps to allow, or the adding of the oil rather, helps to allow that meat to separate really nicely in a wok or in a stir fry situation, because the oil is hydrophobic, so it really kind of locks in all of those marinades and kind of helps the meat to separate a little bit better. Okay, so I've got really gross hands right now. I'm just gonna give it a wash and we'll start to stir fry. What you want with this stir fry is you want either a really nice hot wok, or in this case, I'm just gonna try and do this in a frying pan, just so, because, you know, not all of us have a wok at home. What you need is to make sure you have got some oil in there. Make sure it's nice and hot before you even get your oil in, and because once your oil is in, it's all going to get really smoky. I am just going to go now get my beef in there. So all of that beef can go in. And just going to spread them out a little bit so they make some nice contact with the pan, and then just going to leave them alone until they get nice sear and a nice color to them. So you just want to make sure that once they've got a nice color, just get them kind of loosened up a little bit, give them a bit of a toss. And we don't want to overcook the beef, so make sure once they're done, they come straight out into a bowl or into something to hold them nice and warm, whilst we move on to the second part of the stir fry. So then pan or wok goes back on the heat, and what you want to do is make sure then you get a little bit more oil in there, a little bit of oil, and we are just going to go straight in with some rice noodles. And we've got some fresh rice noodles there that I just kind of picked up from the market this morning. Obviously you can use dry rice sticks as well. You just need to kind of rehydrate them in some hot water before you use them. But the rice noodles can go right in there for your Kway Teow. Just going to give it like literally a second or two, get some caramelization going before I start to move them around. Obviously, we're just trying to get a little bit of that wok hay, that smokiness into the Kway Teow. Next up, really easy, we're just going to go in with some of the soy sauce and some of the oyster sauce. Going to throw in some of my garlic, or all of my garlic in there as well. Give it a really good mix. And you'll just start to notice the color of the rice noodles will start to change with the addition of your oyster sauce and your light soy. Now it is still a fairly light color, so I'm going to darken it ever so slightly later on with a little bit of a special ingredient. But for now, I'm just going to get my chives and my bean sprouts in there, and they'll just start to wilt down nicely. So with your stir fry, obviously, this being a stir fry, you don't want to just walk away whilst this is all happening. You want to just be in control of the whole situation. Now, this is all looking really quite nice. However, like I said before, the noodles need a little bit more color, and this is where my ketchup mayonnaise comes in. Okay, so this is going to get a little bit more of that darker color that we are a little bit more kind of expecting from a char Kway Teow or a beef Kway Teow. So, dash of that. Give that a really good mix. And then the beef can go back in. Mix that through. And then finally, just for a bit of that funkiness, I'm just going to go in with a little bit of fish sauce. It is typical of more Southeast Asian countries to get fish sauce in there. And then you're just going to perfume your whole kitchen with that lovely fishiness. And it's done. Let's plate up. So, after you've emerged from your super smoky kitchen, this is what you should get. So, a lovely bit of dark, charred noodles. Oh, with a bit of beef. Hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. Subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.